This video is brought to you by Robinhood, the investment brokerage app that lets you buy stocks, ETFs, and crypto all commission free. Did you know since the start of the March stock market crash, over 800,000 new brokerage accounts have been created, and buying stocks was the third most popular thing that people spent their stimulus checks on? I know I did. So stop missing out and use the link in the description below. Get your free stock just for signing up, no deposit required. And finally, this is my real portfolio. What's up YouTube, Capital G here. I got some excellent duels for you guys to check out, especially the first duel on the A block. You guys know how big of a fan I am of anime cheese and anime style comebacks, and when we get these duels that, you know, the players are using like anime cards and tactics specifically to pull off wombo combos and stuff, this is like a perfect demonstration of that. So you guys are definitely going to want to see this play. Anyways, we have heroes at the top, and this is actually an evil hero-oriented build of heroes. You guys know when you say heroes, there are so many different subtypes: Destiny, Mass, Elemental, Vision. It's like, who even knows when you say the word hero anymore? But this is definitely more E-hero or evil hero focus. And then we have Harpies, and you guys know what Harpies are all about. A lot of players are working the new Harpy Lady Synchro into their decks because it's a good card, I think, objectively. A strong monster. I wish she did have a little bit of floating, but, you know, overall she's a pretty good card, pretty solid. Anyways, he's not going to go for that. He's actually going to go for the Samorg link, and out of that, you know, that monster brings out the barrier statue, makes it very difficult for your opponent to do much, especially when you back it up with Harpy's Featherstorm. So he's kind of got no special summons and no monster effects potentially during this turn. He tries to go for, you know, Shadow Mist, but nope, we're not going to allow that to happen. Featherstorm that, and now you're basically just kind of relegated to, do you have a beater? Because if you don't have just a normal summon beater that can get over this, you probably can't play. And there are some decks in Yu-Gi-Oh that just do not have beaters, so they can't do anything. But he says, Cap, no problem. You kill one monster stopping you, I'm gonna get an even bigger one from my deck. Have fun dealing with this Apex Avian. It's walking 2700 negation body. He's on the offensive now, because his opponent doesn't have much of anything, and he's gonna make that Scratch Clash and basically just go to town on his life points, leaving it at 1500 life points. So we'll see where this is gonna go. Another thing about the Samorg link, you can also, when you don't have Apex Avian or the Wind Barrier statue, you can just start summoning Harpy monsters from your you know, from your deck. The opponent doesn't have anything in their back row, so it's just free real estate at this point. Anyways, we might have to do a little bit of stalling with the okay, I thought he was gonna stall with Mystic Mind. He says, Cap, that is not the hero way. The real hero way is to play vanilla hero monsters like an OG. This is literally Jaden from season 1 at this point. He's gonna go for Honest Neos, which is probably season 4, and then that's gonna be negated by Apex Avian. I would not have negated that, but that's just me. He is going to use the bounce off the Mystic Mine, and now he's actually going to take his life points down to 100 to get Avian off the field. I guess not wanting to suffer an attack. Oh, you know what? I guess if he would have left Avian on field, Scratch Clash could have attacked it, and that would have been lethal. Okay, so that makes sense. He had to basically attack. All right, we'll see where this duel is going to go. Now, you know, the Harpy player is locked under Mystic Mine. It's not the biggest problem with Harpies, because all you really need to do is just draw Harpy's Hunting Ground, but you have to hard draw it. You can't use, oh man, Harpy Queen. Yeah, you can't use Harpy Queen. We'll see what's happening here. Oh, he says, Cap, I only got 100 life points. What's paying half of 100? It ain't nothing. So he's going to activate a Hero Lives, get Stratos, and now we're going to start seeing the beginnings of some plays here. Now he has to, you know, keep his monster count fairly low, otherwise he'll be locked under his own Mystic Mine, but I'm sure that he'll be able to accomplish that. So we're going to see him go for Dark Calling, and he also has what's the other one? Dark Fusion. Now this is the interesting part, and this is where this duel is going to get spicy. So he activates Dark Calling, and he goes for Evil Hero Infernal Wing, and this is where the Supreme King side of this guy is going to basically make his appearance, and then then he's going to activate favorite hero. Now the Harpy player is like, wait, I sense that you're trying to pull off some anime cheese. So when you're activating this spell, now that we both have two monsters on the field, Mystic Mind is null and void. I can activate monster effects. He's going to use Scratch Clash to bounce itself off the field, and he's like, ha, you noob, now you are locked out. You can't attack because your own Mystic Mind is stopping you from declaring attacks. 200 IQ play. Bounce your own synchro monster off the field to stop your opponent from pulling off the cheese. But what if the opponent has a 200 IQ play as well? When you read favorite hero, this is actually absurd, right? What this card does is during the battle phase, it takes your field spell off the field and lets you activate a different field spell from your deck. So he says, who's really getting played here, my friend? I'm going to get rid of my mine and I'm going to get the Supreme King's Castle. I wish I had the Supreme King thing. I have it on my phone actually, by the way. Yeah, this is when the Supreme King's theme would start playing. Now he realizes something bad is gonna happen, and he says, no problem, Cap, I'm just gonna wall up with the Harpy squad. I got the 5 girls ready for action. Try killing me through 5 monsters in defense mode. You can't do it. Your cheese has failed. Or has it? You gotta read these evil hero cards. Not only does she have, people don't read these cards, man. Not only does she do burn damage, she also has piercing damage, and with the Supreme King's Castle, you get to send evil hero monsters from, well, you can send them from your main deck, but most people do it from the extra deck, and you get to gain, I believe it's half their attack, so you send Malicious Bane, you crank her attack up even higher, and in addition to all of that, you can send favorite hero to the graveyard and get multiple attacks. So it doesn't matter how many Harpy ladies you have, I'm gonna kill you through all of them. So you're gonna see him doing the piercing damage, you're gonna see him doing the burn damage, and check out that cheese. Cheese successfully accomplished, I'm not sure what word I wanted to use there, successfully pulled off? I guess we'll go with that. Anyways, 50 life point comeback. I like how it has all of these conditions by there. Affected by Vision Hero Ferris, cannot special. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that it locked in when there's like a condition that like locks you into something. I had no idea that if you hovered over a player's name, it would actually show you that the condition they're playing the turn under. But that was really wild. I thought that was pretty awesome. Anyways, let's see if Harpies can get their revenge. It may not be against the evil hero deck, but it'll be against a different deck. Oh, looks like it's going to be against the Blue Eyes deck, and this is going to show you kind of a different side of Harpies. You'll see a little more Scratch Clash in this duel. You'll also see Hunting Ground used because actually it wasn't used in the last duel at all, but it will be used in this duel. The Harpy Lady Synchro Monster, I don't think you can just throw her out there all willy-nilly because she does die to basically any form of removal. Anyways, he did run over Harpy Oracle, which pulls out Perfumer. I believe that's Perfumer. Yeah, pulls out Perfumer from the deck. So you got to be kind of careful. If you just throw her out there all willy-nilly, there's a good chance she'll just die for nothing. The good thing is she does count as Harpy Lady in the graveyard. This means that you can use her for things like, what's this card? Harpy Feather Rest. You can reborn her from Hysteric Party. Basically, like all the cards that, you know, do stuff that interact with Harpy Ladies in the graveyard, you can use her with like all of those. So that is the one good thing. Even when she dies, she can still be useful in the graveyard. Now he is going to go and attack, and I think this might be the guy that makes it so your opponent can't special summon from the graveyard, so you got to be kind of careful with that. And he went ahead and used Hysteric Party, obviously wanting to get monsters on board and not just die there. He does have to let all those monsters die, but it's perfectly fine. Anytime you have Harpy Chandler, you have a decent chance, and he is going to be using, even though his opponent doesn't have any monsters, he's basically just, or spells and traps, he's basically just blowing up his own cards with Hunting Ground. We know that if you pop Sign, you get 3 cards during the end phase, and if you pop Alluring Mirror Split, you get a monster reborn out of those. So, you know, popping your own cards isn't that big of a deal. He is going to pop the Hunting Ground here, but it's fine because Perfumer basically floats anyways. Now he's going to activate the rest again, get himself a draw, and bounce another monster. Actually, I think she may have, I think she actually got negated there, so mission not accomplished, but it's perfectly fine. Well, no, actually, maybe not. He has to live through this turn, honestly, and Blue Eyes player got some big-ass monsters on field. He is going to go ahead and summon a few of those, and he will be able to resolve Scratch Clash's effect, I believe, in another chain, or maybe he might have to wait for, yeah, okay, there it is. Yeah, he's resolving in another chain to bounce a monster. He is going to, I think this was a mistake. He used Alternative Dragon there. I feel like he should have went ahead and used Featherstorm. He didn't, and I'm not exactly sure why, because he's going to use Featherstorm now, but it's like, why didn't you just use it earlier? You could have saved your Scratch Clash from dying. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I feel like if the second card forced out your Featherstorm, you probably just should have used it on the first card. Now he loses all of his monsters, and he is now at 100 life points. The question we have to ask ourselves is, who is more likely to win? The person who is literally a hair away from death, or the person with all the life points. I mean, if you've watched this channel at any amount of time, you know exactly who's going to win. 100 life points on this channel is it's exactly the same as in the anime. It means that you are going to win because Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't make sense a lot of the times. If I was a betting man, yeah, that's the card I would go for. If you need a lot of damage and you're playing Harpies, chances are Zero Fein is the answer, because if your opponent has a lot of monsters on field, you can turn them all off and gain a whole lot of attack. I mean, you can go for Utopia the double, but that only does one monster, and it doesn't cut off your opponent's monster effects. Now he can run them over. Zero Fein is a huge beater, and Blue Eyes is pretty much like a terrible recovery deck, so... Oh, wait, excuse me. Just as I call Blue Eyes a terrible recovery deck, he top decks the ultimate recovery card. He's like, shut up, Cap G. I've got the card I need. Unfortunately, we know that Evenly Matched wasn't going to win him the duel. Sure, he could have evenly matched. He would have kept Zero Fein, and then he just would have simply, I don't know, normal summoned Perfumer or Harpy Lady 1, and he could have easily swung for game. So yeah, that was pretty interesting duel. Not nearly as awesome as the first one, but good nonetheless. Anyways, if you guys are interested in this hero build, here it is. And as I said, this is pretty much as OG as it gets. It's interesting because, yeah, I guess this would be like... This is like season 3. Yeah, this is like season 3. I know I said the OG normal heroes are like season 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and then Honest Neos is like season 4, but the overall theme of this deck, because of the evil heroes and the Supreme King aspect of it, running things like Castle and all the evil heroes, that's season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I love season 3 of GX. To be honest, I love all of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Yeah, so this is the build. You're running some of the OG heroes. You're running a bunch of cheese cards like Favorite Hero, using Mystic Mind to kind of stall. I don't usually see Fusion Recycling Plant. I want to put all my field spells together. I don't usually see Fusion Recycling Plant used in these builds because this card is just like incredibly slow. Konami could have made this card so much better if they just would have made it faster. Honestly, you would have saw so many Fusion decks like Fluffles and others actually using this card, but I digress. Anyways, if you guys are interested, of course, this will be in the description below. Thank you guys for watching as always. Subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos, not daily heroes.